Well, namaste and welcome to class this morning to all levels of yoga. First and foremost, just finding your comfortable seat, whatever that may be, and gathering any props that you may have at home. You don't need anything fancy, pillows, blankets, blocks, books, whatever you have available to you. And just finding your comfortable seats, using any support that you may need, and sitting up nice and tall with a nice long spine. And if you find that you're uncomfortable, feel free to sit in a chair and on a couch or maybe up against the wall. So taking just a few moments before we start our practice and just kind of to take our thoughts inward a little bit and just take a moment of silence or prayer if you wish. Just there's a lot going on in the world, so just taking a few moments just to kind of reflect and to prepare yourself to let go and to prepare yourself for your practice. So finding your comfortable seat and maybe closing your eyes if that feels comfortable for you, or just have a soft gaze and take a moment of silence or take a moment of prayer if you wish, and just thinking about your intention or perhaps healing that you need to send out to the world, or maybe healing that you need for yourself. And as you continue to bring that awareness within, as you start to detach and let go, allow your body to begin to relax. Just scan your body and noticing any tension that you're feeling in your physical body. And focusing on that inner awareness, detaching from your emotions, focusing on letting go and releasing that tension. And giving yourself space to be here in the present moment, not distracted by what's going on in the environment around you, in our society. Just being here with yourself. No judgments. And bringing that awareness to the breath. Just notice how you're breathing. The breath may be a little bit shallow, and that's okay. Just naturally start to refine the breath, finding smoothness in the breath as you let go. And the breath will begin to naturally deepen as the body begins to settle. Softening your face, releasing any tension that you're holding here. Your forehead, around your eyes, softening your jaw. Putting all those thoughts aside. And giving yourself permission to be here for at least the next hour or so. And if your eyes are closed, just slowly allow your eyes to flutter open, taking in the light and the colors around you. And this morning, we are going to be focusing on letting go of anger, letting go of any stress, of any anxiety. And so the first thing that we're going to do is some pranayama. And these are cooling pranayamas, which helps to relieve any agitation, any anger, any heightened emotions that we may be feeling. So focusing on 2 breaths that we're going to do. One is a hissing breath and one is a cooling breath. They're both cooling breaths. So the first one that we're going to do is hissing breath, and this is called Sitkari pranayama. And this breath is done with your teeth closed and your lips slightly come apart. You place your tongue behind your teeth. And as you inhale, you're going to inhale through your teeth. And you're going to hear that hissing sound, and you're going to feel that coolness pass through over your teeth and over into your tongue and into your mouth. So let's try that together. So closing your teeth and your lips slightly apart, place your tongue behind your teeth. And then inhale through your teeth. Hold it for a couple seconds, and then just exhale naturally. Good. Let's take 3 rounds of our hissing breath, beginning whenever you are ready. And after your last round, just bring your breath to a natural, easy breath, and just notice the effects of your practice. Notice the coolness sensation you feel it in your mouth, on your teeth, on your tongue. And notice the cooling effect that it has on the nervous system, on your body. And now our cooling breath pranayama, that's called Shitali pranayama. And this one is a little fun to do, and some people can't do this one, and that's okay. If you're not able to do this one, then you can go back to the hissing breath that we just did. So for this breath, we're going to place our tongue, curl the sides of our tongue up, so like we're making a pipe shape with our tongue, or a taco shape with our tongue. So you're sticking your tongue out and curling up the sides of your tongue. And then inhaling through that little pipe that you made with your tongue. And then hold it for a few seconds, and then exhale naturally. Good. And again, some people anatomically can't do that, and that's okay. So you can do the hissing breath. Otherwise, curling up the sides of your tongue, inhaling through the tongue, holding it for a few seconds, and then exhale, letting go. So let's do this one for 3 rounds. So at your own pace, so beginning whenever you're ready. And finishing up your last round, and just pause for a moment. Just notice the effects of your practice. This is a cooling practice. It purifies the blood, slows the aging process, reduces anger. And then slowly begin to bring your awareness back to your physical body and start to shrug the shoulders, just roll out the shoulders and start to move the body. Rolling the shoulders out, maybe alternating the shoulder rolls. And go the opposite way, shrug the shoulders, bring the shoulders forward. And coming back to center, sitting up nice and tall. Hug your navel in towards your spine, lengthen out through the crown of your head. Extend your hands up towards the sky, just taking a nice stretch. Clasp your hands and then palms facing up towards the sky. So just take a nice stretch and kind of wiggle out of your pelvic basket here. So wiggle side to side, just kind of making some space. And then release your clasp. Reach up, maybe take your gaze up, and then look forward and twisting to your right. Just twist your upper body to the right, placing your left hand on top of your right knee and your right hand behind you. Sit up tall, and then exhale, look over your right shoulder. Drawing that right shoulder back as you lengthen out through the crown of your head, finding a nice twist here from our mid to upper back. Staying in your twist, and now just take your gaze over your left shoulder. And imagine that there's this invisible string tugging at the crown of your head. And then inhale, come back to center, hands up towards sky, and then twist to your left. Now place your right hand on top of your left knee and your left hand behind you. Sit up tall and then look over your left shoulder. Draw that left shoulder back, finding a nice twist from the mid to upper back. And staying in your twist, now take your gaze over your right shoulder. Inhale, come back to center, palms together. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Good. And now let's find our way to our hands and knees. Coming into an all fours position and using any props that you may need. So like for instance, a blanket for your knees. Bringing your knees about hip width distance apart, wrists directly underneath the shoulders. Spread your fingers out nice and wide. Let's take a few of our cat-cows here. Inhale, take your gaze up, let the belly melt, tailbone tilt up. Exhale, chin and chest rounding out your back. Inhale, gaze up, belly melts. Taking your cat-cow maybe a little bit slower than you usually do in your practice. And then round your back. Cat pose. And just take a few more on your own here. Let your breath be your guide. Take one more round. And then let's meet in neutral spine. And taking your gaze over your right shoulder and swing your feet to the right. Make a C curve shape with your body. Just kind of hang out here for a breath or two, noticing any tension, any tightness, and trying to refine your breath As you kind of linger in your pose for a little bit, allowing the muscles to relax and let go, and allowing the breath to be more refined as you let go. And then inhale, come back to center. Look over your left shoulder, swing your feet to the left. Inhale, come back to center. And extending your right leg straight back, toes are pointing down. Squaring your hips off to the mat. Don't dump into the pose. Hug your navel in towards your spine, engaging your core. Lengthen out through the crown of your head. Press back with your heel, finding a nice, long, energetic line here. Good. And now extend your left hand, palm facing in. You may notice maybe you're a little shaky this morning, and that's okay. Hug your navel in towards your spine, engaging that core, finding a little bit of stability and balance, which we really need nowadays. And then exhale, come back to your table. Taking your left leg, extending it back. Same thing on the left side here. Point your toes down. Press back with your heel. Hug that navel in. And then when you're ready, extending your right arm, palm facing in. Finding that nice energetic line. And then exhale, coming back to your table. And now extending that right hand to the sky, reaching high, and then thread it behind your left hand. Place your right shoulder, right side of the face on the mat. Take your left hand. You can reach that left hand towards the top of the mat, or you can bring it behind your back. Whatever feels comfortable for you. And notice if your hips are kind of shifting to the right. See if you can center your hips. And then place your left hand underneath the left shoulder as you unwind here, reaching that right hand up towards the sky, and then back on your mat. Now left hand, thread the needle, reach that left hand towards the sky, thread it through left shoulder, left side of your face. That right hand could be extended or maybe behind your back. And again, notice if your hips are shifted over to the left. Square them up, bring them back to center. And now placing your right hand underneath your right shoulder on the mat. Reach that left hand towards the sky, opening up, and then place your hand back down to your all fours. We're going to come up to downward facing dog. So bring your hands, maybe walk them about one handprint up. Curl your toes under. Pick up your knees off the mat. Lift your bottom up towards the sky. Come to your down dog, your head right in between your arms here. Bend the knees as much as you need to. And just take a few moments here to walk it out, hinge one knee, then the other. And now walk your feet to meet your hands, coming to your forward fold. Allow your knees to bend as much as you need to. Arms can hang or maybe grab opposite elbows. Let your head hang heavy, just Sway the upper bodies, whatever you need today. Now, with your hands on the mat, or maybe props if you have blocks or books, you walk your hands over to your right side. You just kind of find a twist, walk your hands over to the right, fingertips on the mat or on your prop. For more of a stretch, you can put a bend in that left knee, so you really feel that stretch in your right leg. Then walk your hands to the center and then going to your left. Walking the hands to the left. And maybe bending your right knee this time. And just notice. So it's important to, when we're practicing on letting go of anger or maybe heightened emotions, it's important to practice 80% and not to go beyond that. Not to push yourself. And then inhale, come back to center. So finding your forward fold again. And then inhale, halfway lift. So place your hands on your thighs. Straighten up the legs, but don't lock the knees. Hug those elbows in. Finding a nice long spine. Base your spine to the crown of your head here. Hugging your elbows in. And then bend your knees. Bend your knees like you're about to sit in a chair. And extend your hands just straight out in front of you. And just hold it here, but breathe. And then inhale, stand up, hands up towards the sky. And come up on your tippy toes. So come up on the ball mounds of your feet. Just really reach, reach, reach. Stay on your tippy toes. Bring your hands to your heart. And bend your knees like you're coming to a low squat. And see if you can remain balanced on the ball mounds of your feet. And then bringing your hands to the mat. Step back to plank pose. One leg and then the other. You can modify by dropping the knees. If you modify, just make sure you have a nice long line from your knees to the shoulders. And then lower down. Bend your elbows, lower down onto your belly. Uncurl your toes. Keep your elbows hugged in and just look forward. Elbows bent. And then as you exhale, push your bottom back to your heels to come to child's pose. Knees could be together or wide. And just sit back on your heels. Walk your hands forward. Let the heart melt. Let the head come to the mat. Sinking your bottom back onto your heels. You can kind of shift around a little bit. Shift the hips side to side. Make some space here. Walk the fingertips towards the top of the mat, opening up the shoulders, the back. And then inhale, coming back to all fours. And we're gonna come right to down dog. So curl the toes under, send your bottom up, walk it out. Walk your feet to meet your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Hug those elbows in, hands on the thighs. Straight legs. Bend your knees. Extend those arms straight out in front of you. Hold it here. And then inhale, hands towards sky, straighten up your legs. Come up on your tippy toes or the ball mounts of your feet. Staying balanced here, bring your hands to your heart. Bend your knees, come to a low squat with your knees together, legs together. Hands to your mat. Step back to your plank. Lower yourself down, modified or regular plank. Lower down, bend the elbows, come onto your belly. Hug your elbows in. Look forward, baby cobra. Or if you'd like a full back extension, straighten your arms. Allow the elbows to remain soft. And then exhale to child's pose. Take a moment, take a breath or two here. 80% effort, that's all we're asking of ourselves this morning. And inhale, coming back to your table. Come back to downward facing dog. And bending your knees, bend the knees. Take a couple breaths. At the bottom of your next exhale, hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Hug the elbows in. Bend the knees. We're going to add on here. Bend the knees like you're sitting in a chair. And this time we're going to come up onto the ball mounts of our feet, starting here. And remember, if this is too much, this is 100% or 110% for you today, then you need to modify and put the heels back down. Otherwise, stay on the ball mounts of your feet and inhale, extending your arms straight out in front of you. And then start to straighten your legs, stay balanced on your tippy toes, reach the hands up towards the sky, you got this. Palms together, bring your hands to your heart, staying balanced. And then bend the knees, come to your squat, your low squat. Nice and easy. Bring your hands to your mat. And then we're gonna hop back to our plank. Remember, 80%, you can always step back. Whenever you're ready, on your next inhale, hop back or step back to your plank. Modified or your full plank, you're gonna lower down, hinge your elbows, lower down. Come on your belly, uncurl the toes. Inhale, look forward, baby cobra or full cobra. Be mindful. Exhale, child's pose. Taking a moment here, just melt onto your mat. Take a moment to reflect. And then inhale, coming back to all fours. And take that same sequence one more time. And coming to down dog whenever you're ready. Hinge your knees. Allow the knees to hover. Take a couple breaths. At the bottom of your next exhale, hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, hands on your thighs, look forward, Hug your elbows in. Bend your knees. Coming up onto our ball mounts, lifting those heels up. And remember to be kind to yourself. Not to overdo it. Extending your arms straight out in front of you. Place those heels down if you need to. The challenge here today is to work at 80% effort. Inhale, standing up, balance. Reach your hands up towards the sky. Bring your hands to your heart. Staying on your tippy toes. Bending your knees, coming to your low squat. You got this. Nice and slow. Bring your hands to the mat. Option to step or hop back. Inhale, hop back to plank or step back. Lower down. Bend your elbows, lower down. Uncurl your toes, inhale, lift your heart. And then exhale to child's pose. Bring the knees wide, or knees can be together. Sit back onto your heels. Let your heart melt onto your mat. Let your forehead connect to the earth. Bring your awareness to the breath. Just take a moment to notice any tension that you're still holding on to. And give yourself permission to let it go. And inhale, coming back to your all fours. And we're gonna step our right foot to the top of our mat. And if you need your blanket, you can place it there, or for a real quick little trick, you can flip the side of your mat and use that to use as padding for your knee. So your right knee should be right above your ankle. And your knee should be overlooking your second toe. And on your inhale, we're gonna bring ourselves up, come to a low lunge. Bring your hands to your hips. Give yourself some time to get settled into your pose. Adjusting anything you need to adjust here. Hug your navel in, lengthen out through the crown of your head. Allow your upper body to remain relaxed. So relax those shoulders down. Heart remains open and lifted. Bring your awareness to your heart center. And bring your hands in front of your heart. Pressing into your palms. Allow your elbows to come out to the sides as you press into your hands, feeling that energy between the palms of your hands, your fingertips. Place your thumb on your sternum. So just kind of stick your thumbs out like this, and place them at your sternum, just to kind of give you some space here, and then press into your hands at the same time. And lengthen out through the crown of your head. We're trying to create all the space here in our side body as we prepare for our twist. So we're going to take our left elbow, and we're going to bring the left elbow to the right knee, the outside of the right knee. Pressing into your palms, drawing that right shoulder back. So stacking that right shoulder over your left shoulder. Elbows are stacked. Gaze could be to the side, or gaze could be over your right shoulder. If you're feeling very unsteady today, look down. And it's okay. 80% effort. We're not looking to over-challenge ourselves today. Focusing on the breath. And notice if your belly is leaning on your leg. If you're leaning on your leg, lean back away and give yourself some space there and allow the spine to remain nice and long and heart to remain open. And then inhale, bring your hands back to your heart. Bring your hands up towards the sky. Shoulders relaxed. And then clasp your hands behind your back. Let the shoulders remain relaxed. Let your hands rest on the back side. So we're not so much focused on opening up the heart here. Just let the shoulders be relaxed and let your knuckles, draw your knuckles towards the floor. And let them rest at the back side. And then as you exhale, we're gonna fold forward. On the inside of the front leg, or maybe over the front leg. And bend your elbows with your hands clasped. Bend your elbows and let your hands maybe come right into the middle of your back so that it allows your shoulders to relax and fall forward. So let the shoulders fall forward. Let your head, the crown of your head point towards the earth. And then releasing your clasp, bring your hands to your mat. And we're gonna step back to your all fours. And now bringing that left foot to the top of the mat. Give yourself some time here to adjust and align yourself. And then bring yourself up when you're ready. Hug that navel in, knee is over your ankle. Bring your hands to your heart. Extend those thumbs out and let the thumbs touch your heart center. Press into the palms of your hands. Let's prepare for our twist here. Make space. So lengthen through the crown of your head. Get nice and tall. And then when you're ready, draw that right elbow to your left knee. And again, notice if you lean on that leg. If you're leaning on it, push away. Use your elbow to push away from your leg and twist at the same time. Drawing that left shoulder back. Stacking the left shoulder over the right. And if you fall out like I did, you just come right back. Stacking your elbows, left elbow over your right. Taking your gaze wherever you need it today. Lengthen out to the crown of the head. So we're not only finding a twist here, we're finding length at the same time. Twisting and lengthening. And then inhale, bring your hands back to center. Reach your hands up towards the sky. Relax your shoulders. Clasp your hands behind your back. And let your shoulders relax. Let your hands just rest at the back sides. So your shoulders remain nice and loose and relaxed. And then fold forward on the inside of the front leg. And remember, let those shoulders fall forward. Bend your elbows a little bit so that your hands are like in the middle of your back. And let your back side just open up. Let the shoulders just fall forward. Elbows fall forward. Head relaxed. Good. And then bringing your hands to your mat, and we're gonna step to the top of our mat this time. Curl the back toes under, pick your knee up, and step forward. Come to your forward bend. Inhale, halfway lift, hands on your thighs, straight legs. Hug those elbows in. Now bend those knees like you're sitting in a chair. And now extending your hands up towards the sky. Reaching up towards the sky for our chair pose here. Sink the hips towards the earth. Bring the palms of your hands together. Press into the palms, elbows out. And then bring your left elbow to your right knee. And notice if your left knee is kind of jutted out a little bit. See if you could bring your knees even with one another. For modification, you could bring one hand to the floor or a block and right hand to the sky. Or you can open up your arms, extending that left hand towards the earth, but not touching the earth, and reaching your right hand to the sky. And then inhale, bring your hands back to center, and then straighten up your legs. Bring your hands up towards the sky. Take a nice stretch, maybe look up if that feels good. And then exhale, bring your hands to your heart. And just take a couple breaths. Then inhale, hands towards sky. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Bend your knees. Hands up towards sky, chair pose. Bring your hands to your heart. Preparing for our twist here. Drawing your right elbow to left knee. For modification, you can take a block. Place one hand on the block, one hand to the sky if you're feeling out of balance. Otherwise, you can open up your arms, allowing your right elbow to remain on the outside of the left knee, fingers pointed towards the earth, left hand towards the sky. Inhale, bring your hands back to your heart, straighten your legs. Reach your hands up towards the sky, maybe look up. Exhale, bring your hands back to your heart. And just take a couple breaths. And then inhale, reach your hands up towards the sky. Exhaling, forward fold. Then bending your knees, coming to your mat. So bringing your bottom to your mat, extending your legs out in front of you. Sitting up nice and tall here, and if you need to take a blanket or maybe a little pillow, you can always prop yourself up by sitting on the edge of your blanket. It helps to promote a nice long spine, especially if it feels uncomfortable for you. Flexing your feet, keeping your legs active and engaged. Bring your hands to the sides, your wrists right underneath the shoulders. Sitting up nice and tall, rooting down at the base of your spine, but finding length through the crown of your head. Point your toes towards your face so you feel your legs engage. And then on your inhale, reach your hands up towards the sky. Allow your shoulders to remain relaxed. And instead of using your arms to find length, so we don't want to pull our arms out of our shoulder socket. Use your whole upper body to find length. So lengthening from the low back, reaching, finding space here in the torso to find that length to reach. And then exhale, fold forward, hinge at the hip crease, fold forward. And then inhale, we're gonna come right back up. Inhale, come right back up, and then reach even taller. Reach, use your whole body to reach, not just your arms. And then exhale, fold, and then inhale, come back up. And reach a little higher this time, reach a little higher. And then exhale, fold. And then one more time, inhale, last time. Reach as high as you can. Use your whole body to reach, 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 reach. And now exhale, fold. Hinge at the hip crease. Use this length, lengthen and fold at the same time. Lengthen and fold. And let your hands go wherever they want. On your legs, on the mat. Continuing with not just bending, but lengthening too. So reaching the crown of your head forward as if you have that invisible string just pulling you, and you're creating all this length in the upper body. And then you fold naturally. The fold naturally comes as you make that space. And then inhale, slowly come back up. Stacking your vertebra one at a time, allowing your head to be the very last thing that comes up. And now bringing your hands behind you. And if you have a blanket there, you might want to move it. So walking your hands back just a little bit behind your shoulders. And then on your inhale, just take your gaze up, lift up through your heart center, opening up the thoracic spine, just a gentle back bend here. And exhale, coming back to a neutral spine, bringing your hands right underneath your shoulder, coming to that neutral position. And we're going to add on to this, and remember that we're working at 80% effort. So if this next pose is not in your practice, then do this gentle back bend that we did a moment ago. Otherwise, walk your hands back. Inhale, lift up through the heart. So allowing your bottom to remain on the mat as a modification. Otherwise, lift your bottom. Point your toes. And then take your gaze at your heart or at your belly button so that you don't stress your neck. And then place your bottom back down. Bend your knees. Put your soles of the feet onto the earth. Wrap your hands around your shins, tuck your chin in, and just round your back out. Bring the shoulders forward, tuck the chin in, round your back. Inhale, coming to neutral spine. Extend your left leg. Toes are pointing up. That right foot, that heel, you can bring that right heel closer to your body. Bring your right hand behind you. And this right leg, you can also cross it over the left so that your right foot is on the outside of your left leg. If that feels more comfortable for you, that's an option. So taking that left hand, reach that left hand towards the sky, and then twist to the right. Twist to the right, draw that right shoulder back, and then bend that left elbow and hook it on the outside of your right knee. And come on to the right fingertips if you have to help allow you to stabilize and create that length. And then look over your right shoulder. stay in this twist and then just take your gaze over that left shoulder. And then exhale, coming back to center. Bring that left knee in and now extend that right leg. So that left foot can remain on the inside of your right leg, or you can place it on the outside of your right leg. Bring that left hand behind you. Right hand towards the sky. Twist to your left. Draw that left shoulder back, twist to the left, and then bend that right elbow, hook it on the outside of your left knee. Sit up tall and then twist over your left shoulder, looking over your left shoulder. Stay in your twist. Now take your gaze over to the right side, right shoulder. Okay, coming back to center, bending your knees. And then bringing your hands on your shins for a moment and just coming up onto your sits bones. Find your sits bones. And then toes up. So you're on your heels, toes are up, nice long spine. Just lean back a little bit, engaging that core. And if you feel stable and comfortable, you can let go. An option to pick up your feet, maybe alternating, or pick up both feet, just coming to your version of boat today. Remembering not to challenge yourself too much. And then exhale, placing your feet down, hugging your shins for a moment. Go ahead, round out your back, just to rest a little back, round it out. And inhale, nice long spine. Good. We're gonna do our boat one more time, and from our boat, we're gonna come right down to laying on our backs. So finding your boat, whatever that looks like for you, that's okay. Modified or pick up your feet. Holding it. And then when you're ready to lower, slowly lower yourself down. Slow as you can. Slow and steady wins the race. You made it, finally. Laying down on your mat, taking up all that space here, just finding a nice stretch here. So reaching your hands back behind you, lengthening your arms, lengthening your legs, maybe pointing your toes, really reaching. And then hug your knees in. Extending your legs up towards the sky. Flex your feet, toes are pointed towards your face. Feel the backs of your legs. Engage here. And you can stay here, or you can come up to a shoulder stand if that's in your practice. If that's in your practice, you're going to lift your bottom up off the mat. Support your sacrum, extending your legs up towards the sky. Hips over your heart. Hips over your pelvis, pelvis over your heart. Being mindful not to look at the screen while you're in shoulder pose, shoulder stand. And right from here, you can come to plow pose if you'd like, reaching your feet back behind you towards the floor. Knees could be bent or straight.
You could touch the floor. You could bring your knees to the ears. And then when you're ready to come out of your pose, if you're in plow pose, slowly bring your legs up, support your back, and lower yourself down. One vertebra at a time, lower down. Place one foot down and then the other. And then allow yourself to take up all that space on your mat to find your Shavasana. So get nice and comfy. Allow your feet to flap open to the sides. Bring your hands out to the sides. Take all that space on your mat, be on your mat. Close your eyes if that feels comfortable for you. Bring your awareness to the breath. Scan your body, noticing any tension still kind of hanging around there, physically, emotionally. Just give yourself permission to set it aside, at least for the next few minutes here of Shavasana, honoring our practice, honoring our body, our mind, and our spirit. I invite you to stay in Shavasana for as long as you'd like. Otherwise, bring awareness back to your body. Wiggle your fingers, your toes, circle your ankles, your wrists. Maybe take a stretch as if you've just taken a nice short little nap. Bend your knees, put your feet on the floor, roll to your side, curling up into a fetal position. And then whenever you're ready, just slowly coming up, placing one hand onto the earth and then the other. Finding your comfortable seat. Your eyes may remain closed, or maybe just have a soft gaze.
And bringing your hands together, Namaste hands, Anjali Mudra, prayer hands, and connecting your hands to your heart. And just taking once again just a moment of silence or maybe of prayer. And I leave you with this quote today. Watch your thoughts, they become words. Watch your words, they become actions. Watch your actions, they become habits. Watch your habits, they become character. Watch your character, for it becomes your destiny. You are what your deep driving desire is. As your desire is, so is your will. As your will is, so is your deed. As your deed is, so is your destiny. And I thank you for practicing with me today. And as always, I am so grateful to be here as your guide in your journey of yoga, your journey of healing. Namaste.